Today we're gonna play one of the most streamlined, easiest combo decks, I hope. We are playing U Belcher. We have loads and loads of MDFCs, so our library basically consists of no lands at all, and we're able to use Goblin U Belcher to just one-shot our opponent. I'm playing the blue variant today because I'm not quite sure how good the red one actually is. Let's grab everything here. We have our Schultz. So let's go over our suite. We do have all the good blue MDFCs. As you're able to see right here, stop struggling, stop resisting. We have some 1-mana interaction, 2 spell snare, 2 stern scolding, can answer various things in the format. Archaeologist and Sunlight Trap Trainer as our cantrip creatures that both find us our land drops and can be sacrificed to Flare of Denial. Hameshi to combo together with our Lotus Blooms to pump out the U Belcher. Disrupting Shoal as another free counter spell, and Verve Invention to grab our Lotus Blooms or the U Belchers. Our sideboard, pretty streamlined as well. Portable Hole to answer various stuff to grab off of the Verve Invention, Consigned Memory against Eldrazi and maybe Broodscale, Clusterstorm against Storm and other interaction against us, into the Floodmud to get rid of most hate pieces, Snapback to get rid of some nauseous creatures, Force of Negation against some combo decks, Harbinger of the Seas against greedy mana bases, Tezzeret for the grindy games, Mountain if we play against the deck with loads of Field of Ruin effects, stuff like that, and a Tormod's Crypt to exile our opponent's graveyard. So without further ado, let's run into the league. Here we are again, another quick intermission before we go into the leagues. Definitely a real great deck, just a quick alarm. I'm not the best player of this deck. It's the first league I'm playing with it, but I still hope that you appreciate it, you enjoy the content, you at least like the deck list and such. So please leave a like, comment, maybe even share and subscribe. Definitely would help me a lot trying to grow this channel. My big goal is to be an MTGO content creator. Still need a lot of subscribers to hit that goal, but then I can just play loads of different decks that you should submit. Leave a comment with the deck you want me to play, and I don't burn through all my play points like I'm doing right now. That would absolutely be great. So on to the first match. Have a good one. Match number 1. We are on the play. We have Lotus Bloom, Verve Invention. I do like this. Let's keep, and let's just start with a tapped Sink. Oh yeah, tapped Sink into Super. Nope. Suspend the Lotus Bloom. On next turn we can shock in the Sink into Super to have a Jawari Disruption up or a Spell Snare. We should be set against most things. Gonna just play the Wooded Foothills. I like the sound of that. And we find an Archaeologist. I think I'll just keep up some interaction. Let's just play the Super. I'll pay the life now. And now we have Jawari Disruption and Spell Snare up. If our opponent does something, I stop our opponent from doing stuff. And we find Disrupting Shoal. That's also pretty sweet. Let's just run out the Archaeologist now. See what we get. There is another land. I like the sound of this. I think I'll still shock in the Specimen to have Spell Snare up, because with our Belcher only being available through a Verve Invention, we won't be able to fire it off immediately anyway. So there's no need to rush for an untapped land next turn. In this way, I have potential Disrupting Shoal with a Jawari Disruption discard and a Spell Snare. Not like we would need to counter 2 CMC 2 spells this turn, but with this Jawari Disruption might be able to protect our Belcher from something like a Leyline Binding. Opponent shocks in a Blood Crypt. Opponent just shoots off a Tribal Flame on our face. Let's just play that. I don't want to take the 5 damage right here. And that's it. So they probably have right here. Don't really care. Can easily pay for that. Let's cast the Lotus Bloom. Let's also run out our Disruption. We do have Disrupting Shoal. We are not able to grab our like Photon Archaeologist, or do a Disrupting Shoal that actually might be able to protect us some damage. Can still work for another Lotus Bloom, and this Shoal only be able to counter 2 drops otherwise. The Archaeologist is a decent blocker. Yeah, let's just do that. If our opponent wants to remove our Lotus Bloom, we can just work for another Bloom. And so I would definitely prefer to just not do that and have our work for the Belcher. Tribal Flames on the Archaeologist. Deal. That happens. And there's the Dash Ragavan. Okay. So this one hit us. Could have kept the Shoal for that. But gets rid of a Disruption. Doesn't really matter. And we just find a U Belcher like this. Let's go. There's a Stubborn Denial. can counter it with the Disrupting Shoal, or I just pay for it, which means that we can't activate the Belcher immediately, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Definitely have to do that. Yup, Belcher lands. Now, one of the cards is a Ragavan, and if the other one happens to also be a Leyline Binding, tough luck, but if it's not, we have the kill next turn. Just have to let my cat outside for a second. Ragavan, you stay on the stack. We are back. Ragavan hits the battlefield. What would be really annoying is our opponent if he would hit a Sink into Stupor off this Ragavan. Ragavan connects. They find another Jawari Disruption. Doesn't matter to us. As long as there's no Leyline Binding, we win. On to sideboarding. Against Zoom, I want to bring in into the Floodmaw to answer potential Leyline Sign shenanigans and make it so we don't die too fast. And Harping of the Seas to interrupt their mana. Also, I'll take out the Stern Scolding because it only hits Ragavan. Shave one Bein Veil because it's our worst MDC against them. And trim one Flare of Denial because they do have loads of removal for our creatures. So let's run it like this. Game number 2. We have a Thunder Trap Trainer and a Spell Snare to decor stuff. Other than that, our hand doesn't really have anything going on, so let's mulligan this. We can definitely do better. Now we do have Tameshi and a Char Belcher at the ready, so let's keep this. Now we'll put on the bottom one of our worst lands, one of the disruptions, and let's run it like this. Probably just gonna be a suppression rate turn 1 into a specimen for Archaeologist, hoping to draw other untapped lands. If we draw Spell Snare right now, I would hold in the specimen. We don't, let's just play the Plaza as a turn, and now we can play Trainer or Archaeologist next turn. Hopefully finding something like Flare of Denial and protecting our combo. Opponent runs out another tapped land. We're in great shape. We even find another untapped land. So let's run out the Archaeologist. What do we find? Can either take another Char Belcher or into the Floodmaw. I think I want to grab another Char Belcher in case our opponent has an answer to the first one, just to be sure. And also this somewhat signifies to our opponent that we maybe only have one because we don't take our interaction against them. Maybe this also will allow us to win with a second. They have a Clarion Conqueror now. That's annoying and makes me wish I would have taken the Into the Floodmaw. That's really annoying. Let's run out the Trainer and we're digging for Into the Floodmaw. Sink into Stupor, also a great way of dealing with that. Let's run out the Jawari Disruption and pass the turn. Definitely gonna have to end of turn Sink into Stupor, this Clarion Conqueror next turn, and hope that they don't run out something with 5 power to have Stubborn Denial to counter our Sink into Stupor. If they do, just a Clarion Conqueror 3/3. Not the mightiest clock in the world, so we still have some time to find stuff. When it runs out in Arena of Glory, plays another Conqueror. Now it's getting annoying. Dealing with 2 of those is troublesome. We take it. Dealing with 2 of those sure is annoying. We find a Birth Convention. We're basically just waiting to find answers against both these Conquerors. Just run out the tapped Seagate and stay back. Maybe end of turn I will still grab a Lotus Bloom to potentially have something to do with Tameshi later on. Fortunately, Portable Hole, even though we didn't fight it in, still wouldn't be able to deal with the Conquerors. Just have to take the 6 right here. Opponent would play Rapid Flames. I'll just run out the Hydroelectric Specimen and make them shoot this. Double Clarion Conqueror is really tough. Runs out a Sign of Draco, yeah. We're just gonna have to deal with that. Let's run out our Birth Convention. Basically, our only out right here is hoping that our opponent doesn't have anything and we draw another Into the Floodmaw. Grab the Lotus Bloom and let's pray. That doesn't cut it, we're just dead in the air. We could still go for one more turn. We are not dead, so to speak, because we can just bounce one of those. Do not die, they don't have anything. But if they have pretty much anything, we are dead. Guess we can still take out Draw Step. Let's spawn a Conqueror. Go down to 1. They can just replay the Conqueror or kill us with something like a Flage. On to the next game. One of the best things about decks like Belcher here is that the leagues go really fast. Seeing the Conquerors makes me think that I probably also want to run the Snapback. An additional removal to those. So let's put in this. Let's take out one of the Disrupting Shoals and let's try it like this. Game number 3, we are on the play. We have Lotus Bloom, we have a bounce spell. We don't have any way to access a Char Belcher, but I still think this is a keep on the play. Just run out the Veil, turn 1, spend the Lotus Bloom, and we do have a Jewelry Disruption, counter a 2-drop and a single super to get rid of something like a Conqueror. Basically just trying to buy time to access our Char Belcher and find it eventually. Find a trainer. Now we could run out the trainer now because the 2-drops are not as dangerous as the 3-drops are. I think I like that. Just play a 2-drop right there. We are probably fine, especially because they don't have a ley line. So we don't really care too much about the ley line. The ley line is only really annoying if you want to bounce something like a Conqueror. It might have taken them out. And we find a Birth Dimension. That's great. That's our Char Belcher in a couple of turns. Next turn we can play the Suppression Rate to have Disruption up, or we can bolt in the Seagate Restoration to also have Sink into Stupor up. We're looking pretty stacked. Any 2-drops opponent? What do you have? Probably Kavu. Yep, that's a 4-4 Kavu. Kavu is annoying. It is a big beater. It's definitely a big boy. We just draw a Belcher like that. That's great. That's great. That's great. We can run out our Seagate Restoration to grab a second. Yeah, grab a second Lotus Bloom end of turn. And that way, they will be really hard for them to deal with our Char Belcher because we can just Disruption a potential Stubborn Denial if they play something else here. Or we could just bounce a Kavu, so Stubborn Denial doesn't do too much. Both sound pretty nasty. If we go for the Stupor, we don't have an untapped land for the Char Belcher immediately. Let's just see what they got. Blooded Strand, is there blue source, so they play a Cyan maybe? Yeah, as I already said, playing such linear combo decks like Char Belcher, one of the greatest things about it is that you can just fire league after league after league because you can play them so rapidly. Opponent just hits us with a Kavu. I will take this hit because maybe we draw a Flare, so we're even better protected. They discard a leyline, so they do still have them in the deck. Being able to just play leagues really fast sometimes is a nice change of pace, especially after something like the Mori deck from the other league, where you have to grind. It really works for every game. You just sometimes have the free wins with Lotus Bloom if your opponent doesn't have interaction. Opponent just passes the turn, so let's grab a second Lotus Bloom. Yup. The opponent try to do something end of turn. Because they do have all their mana up, we unfortunately won't be able to disrupt the potential Stubborn Denial. Probably have to sink into Stupor their Kavu and cast the Leyline Binding, so we'll definitely just bounce their Kavu. Let's get rid of this. And they do have the mana to cast that Stubborn Denial, but we do have Disruption. We won't be able to play everything, unfortunately. We'll just wait one more turn. Don't want to expose myself to another Leyline Binding. Won't just choose the Bolt in our face. We might be dying to burn. There's another Lightning Bolt. I think I have to stop that because they might have a Tribal Flames and that would just kill us. That's rough. It means we are not able to stop Kavu Stubborn Denial. Opponent has another land. They could have a third Bolt and a Flage and we would just die, which would really suck. Just play 2 creatures, opponent. Come on, give me the turn. What should happen? We only have 7 mana next turn. Opponent grabs a basic plane, so they are afraid of our Harbingers again. And they have the Conqueror again. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Definitely good hand on our opponent's side right there. Suppression Ray, unfortunately not able to get rid of the Conqueror. Let's still run out our Char Belcher, that we just to have find an answer to it and can kill them then. And they have a Consign as well. Well, guess we are fucked. Their Conqueror definitely was a big hit to the Belcher deck. Energy and Zoo having such a good permanent based answer to it that stop plays around spells, and that's really rough. So much better than something like Collector Oof. Something with haste coming as well. It's just a Kavu. We do have a draw, but fortunately nothing we can really hit. It is a Kavu. So we are not dead this turn, but I don't think there's any draw for us to get out of here. Let's just block the Kavu. No, that's unfortunate. On to the next match. Match number 2, we won another die roll. Lucky us. Double Lotus Bloom, Worth Convention. Only 1 land. That's not double Lotus Bloom, that's only 1. It is only 1 land, but if we draw another land, we are absolutely loaded. I will be greedy, even though we are on the play. If you know me by now, I am greedy. I will keep this hand and I will tell you that you shouldn't. And then I hopefully lose, so we both learn something from it. And if I win, I go home, am home, thinking I made a good decision, but we both know that I did not. Opponent, Arid Mesa into Steam Vents, probably Prowess, maybe Genzu, that looks like Prowess. So just draw another land, play the Archaeologist, have Flare up, please, would be great. Would love that to happen, opponent. Just give me a land on top of my library, an untapped land. Untapped land into Archaeologist, find us another land, come on. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. Also, I don't appreciate that we are playing against all the blue decks. All the consign, spell, pierce, counter spell decks. It's unfortunately nothing, so let's pretend like nothing happened. Nothing happened right here, opponent. We definitely didn't keep the greedy one land, and we're definitely not getting absolutely punished for it and getting pummeled by Prowess now. You won't do that. You've already played with Bauble, you don't have Cory Steelcutter into Bauble. See? You don't. I appreciate that. But you have Swift Spear into another Bauble, okay? Something else coming. Opponent looks at the top of our library, so they know if we hit a land or not. And they also have Lava Dart, so that's a lot of damage. Take a big hit. Is there land, opponent? Please tell me. It is. It even is an untapped one. So let's run out Archaeologist. Grab a Disrupting Show. Oh, do I have to grab a land? I will grab a Disrupting Show. I think I have to try to protect my life. Where we have two counters. We have the Flare, we have the Shoal. Just hoping we don't die. And we'll play another Archaeologist next turn to find another land. But with two Swift Spears here, I think we are unlikely to survive. This creep probably just was too greedy. There's a Steel Cutter, lucky enough. We can show that. Yep, your Swift Spears grow bigger. Now let me just block. You play something like a Violent Outburst after I've already blocked, so that I can use my Flare of Denial to counter that. Do you, opponent? That's just a Lava Dart. I think I have to take that in case I have something else that deals more damage. Just like that. Definitely have to counter that one. Yep, down to 3. So if our opponent has a single non-creature spell they can cast, we are dying. We find a Stern Scolding, looking for a land drop. Let's just grab this one, run out the plaza. Please no non-creature spells, please just be flooded, opponent. When it surveils. It's no Lava Dart. You're doing good, opponent. I like what you're doing so far. Let's block. And that's unfortunately lethal. On to sideboarding. Sideboarding against Prowess. I think Jurai Disruption again is pretty slow. Flare of Denial also kind of lackluster. Let's also get rid of one Tameshi, one Disrupting Shoal. Shoals do have a handful of 2-drops, but those are pretty much the ones we want to run out with the Archaeologists and Thunder Trap Trainers. So I think we're just a bit light on counterspell answers to the Steel Cutter. But I think that's just the way it is, especially on the play. Bring in the Portable Hold against Steel Cutter the creatures, Snapback to bounce something into the Floodmaw to get rid of stuff, and Fluster Storms to protect our Char Belcher. Let's go first. Now we do have enough lands, and we have a Spell Snare. Let's just run out the Jurai Disruption as our tap land turn 1, because we don't have any turn 1 interaction either way. And let's just hope we find something to combo up with Tameshi. We manage to draw like Verve Convention next turn would be huge for our future turns. Opponent just runs out the Bauble like this, so there's hopefully no 1-drop. There is, but it's only preordained. Them setting up is fine. Opponent looks at the top of our library. Please Beaver. Please, pretty please. It's a Flare of Denial, that's also okay. Let's just play the Seagate Restoration tap for now. We do have Spell Snare up to get rid of potential Slick Shots or Steel Cutters. Next turn, I think I'll shock in the Sink into Super to possibly flash in a Specimen or cast a Flare of Denial. They are playing Grixis, they are not Izzet. That's interesting. There's another Preordain, so they are maybe on some build with... What do they want black for? The Sword Season. That's really annoying. Did not expect them to have black. Did not see any black cards game 1, not any black lands game 1. And now suddenly they shock in a Blood Ripper and Sword Caesars. What is going on? Grixis Prowess. Now I'm in for a handful of surprises, because with the Swift Spears and such, they grab the spells now. Okay. I don't mind too much. Let's run as a Sink into Stupor, so we have the Flare and the Specimen up. Don't want to cast the Specimen, but having the Flare sounds really good, and we do have 2 Char Belchers. We can just run them out into potential counterspell. Really confused what they are doing with Soul's Mana. Steel Cutter, let's cast a Flare. And doesn't use spell spears or anything like this. They play Triton Wavebreaker. That's interesting. It's definitely a blue 1-drop with Prowess. I think that the talent that people also play in Standard probably is better. I mean, you can bestow a creature for double Prowess, I guess. Prowess does stack if I recall correctly. Still sounds kinda weird. Let's just hope we don't die here. Slickshot plus a Prowess creature always is scary. Especially if they also should have something like Lava Dart. Or maybe just a Violent Urge. We might die right here. If we don't, hopefully we get to use our Belcher. There's the Lava Dart. Is that lead? Oh, it also flashbacks the Lava Dart, which was to be expected. And we go to 1 if they don't have anything more. Close one! Close one, opponent. Let's just Belcher you before you draw something. Ooh, interesting. Grixis Prowess. On to game number 3. Start voting for game 3 against Grixis Prowess, appears to be. Maybe I want to bring in the Tormod scripts, get rid of something like Lava Darts. Don't know if there's anything else I would really want to cut. I think I could maybe get rid of another Trial Disruption, or just get rid of the last Disrupting Shoal. I think I still like having 1 Shoal. I don't think getting rid of the Gravit is worth too much. Let's keep it as this. Game number 3 against Prowess. We once again have a 1-lander with Bloom. Char Belcher. But now we are on the draw, so that is a greedy keep, but I think this time it is actually possibly a correct one. Because if we draw another land, we do have the Archaeologist, we do have Into the Flood mod to buy us some time, even if we should miss land drops for a couple turns in a row. And Lotus Bloom is a Way of Invention, should be able to do work. We do find another land immediately. Play the Beguine Coast for now. Next turn we can run out our Archaeologist and dig for another land. We're basically just looking for more lands. Opponent runs out another Channeler. So if they manage to get Delirium, that will hurt a lot, and it also allows them to filter for their draws really well. They even go for the Lava Hit right now. Just filter through the entire library. That's a lot of surveilling, but luckily enough, not too much damage for now. They don't hit Delirium. Just taking the 1 right here is absolutely fine. Lotus Bloom goes down 1. We even draw a Flare of the Nile, that's great. So let's run out our Archaeologist, and we do have a Flare to interact with them. Right now, we also find another land. Lovely. It's also white, so we get cast our Portable Hole. Pretty good. Even though we won't be able to cast it immediately. Opponent shocks in a Blood Crypt. Runs out a Steel Cutter, I assume? Yes. Opponent definitely can surveil, thinking that the Steel Cutter might resolve. Or counter the Steel Cutter, and we're even lucky enough that they don't hit Delirium off it. Because they did mill the Bauble already. Just taking a hit for 2, that's fine, that's not too scary. And we do have the Into the Flood more next turn to bounce 1 of those. We have 2. We even draw an untapped land for next turn. We get to combo off immediately. That's great. That's great. Now we just hope our opponent goes all in and tries to kill us this turn, and we get to interrupt them with the Bloodmaw. Runs out a Swift Spear, only has 1 card left in hand, and it's a Slick Shot. That doesn't really do anything, so we have the kill. Yep, opponent gets to surveil some more. Now it does still sting, but as long as they don't hit Delirium, and we are able to bounce a Slick Shot, I think they won't have lethal, even if they milled another Lava Dart, which they don't. No Delirium for them. Let's get rid of the Slick Shot, and let's just take the hit for opponent not hitting Delirium right there is pretty fortunate for us, I'm not gonna lie. Because if they had gotten Delirium earlier, I think they would have been able to just kill us. But it doesn't matter that we could have died, because we didn't. Shot this in, run out the Belcher, and dome our opponent. Nice. On to the next match. On to match number 3. Match number 3, we won another die roll. We are rolling right now. Now this hand doesn't have any of our combo pieces, so we mulligan. Easiest rule of thumb, if your hand has no part of the combo, just give it away. Now this hand looks pretty okay. I will get rid of the Flare of the Nile or the Disrupting Shoal. Do have mana to get to anything. I think I'll get rid of the Flare of the Nile, because the Disrupting Shoal is a bit more flexible and can be used for free. Don't have a 2-drop right now, so Flare isn't as great. Hardcasting that for 3 is not where we want to be. Sometimes we have to do that, but not our intended strategy. And this Disrupting Shoal, pitching a Spell Snare for Ragavan or also Lock Pride might be good if we face energy. Opponent runs Poison Forest, so ooh, Blade of the Bloodsheet. Did not expect this. I thought it would just be a normal Eldrazi deck, but that's Broodscale combo. We're just seeing who can combo faster, and we draw Lotus Bloom. That's a good draw. Run out a land, and we're just hoping to draw another land basically. With us getting rid of this Blade of the Bloodsheet, I hope that our opponent doesn't have a too fast combo, and I hope that they're... I just wanted to say that they're reliant on Urza Saga grabbing them another blade. Opponent runs out the Broodscale. Yes, that happens. And we find Tameshi. That's also sweet. Let's just run her out. At the very least scare our opponent. And if we manage to survive, we'll be able to go off with Tameshi and Lotus Bloom, which we have not done so far. This is the first time we've cast Tameshi this league. Drawing a Verve Invention will be the kill. Opponent plays an Eldrazi Temple. They could also put just block here. We'll just take the hit for 2. Opponent would have had to use 2 mana right there, but making them play other stuff definitely sounds a bit better. There's a Micro Spawn. Lucky that we don't get Stone Rained by that. That would definitely suck. And that also means that they won't be able to use a Kozilek's command to exile our graveyard if we draw a Verve Invention. Unfortunately, we don't. We'll still play this. We have the 7 mana next turn. And I'll just stay back with Tameshi and keep her as a blocker. Hoping our opponent doesn't have another Micro Spawn that Stone Raised us. And they do have infinite mana now. Also hoping they don't have a combo piece that kills us without combat damage. If they have a Walking Ballista or a Flashbreaker, we are dead. If they don't, the infinitely big Broodscale will be blocked by Tameshi and we get to shoot them. Just told my opponent that I'll scoop if the Broodscale connects. Definitely you can make each other's life a bit easier. We are all nerds playing Magic the Gathering online in under-supported software that's way too old, gets way too little love. So we as a community should at the very least stick together. Even though there are some people making life horrible on this platform, we don't have to be like this. And I did tell my opponent I will scoop. He is proof, but he still wants to combo. So maybe there's a Walking Ballista coming to kill us. Is there a Ballista or a Flashbreaker? Or basically a Kozilek's command to search through the entire library. There's lots of stuff that just kills us right here. Opponent has a Cavern of Souls to counter something, play something uncounterable. Is it a Flashbreaker? I hope not. It's another Micro Spawn. So we can still draw an untapped land to kill our opponent, or just Bloom Tameshi if our opponent doesn't have a Kozilek's command, which seems to not be the case. No, we can't Tameshi. We have to jump this Broodscale. I forgot. Also, my cat wants to be let in again. I'll be right back. You are not the cat I expected to see, but I appreciate you being here. Block this boy, and we have to draw an untapped land. If we do, we should have the kill. If we don't, we are basically dead. That's not an untapped land. That's unfortunate. Let's still just run out the Belcher. Against Broodscale, I'll take out lots of our early counter spells, because they do run the Cavern of Souls and such. We'll still keep in 1 Stern Scolding, because maybe we'll get to hit one of them creatures. Take out the Disrupting Shoals, because the mana values don't really line up against stuff like Kozilek Command and such. We bring in our Harbingers, even though it doesn't kill Urza Saga anymore, it still screws them and makes it so they don't have colorless mana most of the time. Number 2, we are again on the play. What do we have? Lotus Bloom, Tameshi, Flare. We do have 2 lands, let's keep this eventually. We're able to use our Tameshi with the Lotus Bloom. Backup Tameshi also does not hurt, even though it probably doesn't do too much. Suspend, and if worst comes to opponent runs out Forest Springleaf Drum, so they are also trying to accelerate. We find another land immediately. I love it! So let's just play tap land for now. Keeps into the Bloodmoor up. Loosen Forest into Malevolent Rumble. Malevolent Rumble with Springleaf Drum also just clean deck building. Being able to tap the token for mana before sacrificing it is great. Opponent grabs the Vexing Bauble. Now that's an annoying card, not gonna lie. But we do have the Into the Bloodmoor. Let's just pass to our turn back. I will shock in the Specimen and play the Thunder Trap Trainer for now, because that means we still have the Into the Bloodmoor to end off and bounce the Vexing Bauble. And we can sacrifice the trainer to Flare of Denial without being too bad. We also find a Char Belcher. That's lucky. Never didn't have it. And now we can bounce the Bauble and combo with Tameshi next turn, hopefully, with Flare backup. This sounds pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see us just dying to their combo this turn. Opponent runs out Broodscale. Happens. Opponent plays another land. Also happens. Opponent plays a Blade. Sure, can't just give them infinite mana because they only have 2 cards in hand, I think. Maybe I should have countered the Blade. Opponent equips the Broodscale, and now they get to sacrifice the spawn. Yup. Definitely still want to into the Floodmother Vexing Bubble though. If they have 2 pair of cards that kill us, that sucks. I should have just countered the Blade. Just a second Blade. That's fine. So now they also make an infinite army, and then later they can grow them. Just told our opponent again that I'll count them out at the infinite if one of those connects. No need to make them click the button for 10 more minutes so they actually have an infinite army. Especially because they're down to the 1 card. We can Flare, we can into the Floodmore, and then we Tameshi combo. Opponent still wants to go through the motions for a bit. Who am I to make them not do that? You lucky folks don't have to see this. Even though I also actually told them that I do have the kill with protection. What can I do? Well, our opponent decided they finally comboed enough. So let's bounce the Bauble, and we have Tameshi combo with Flare. Opponent does not want our gift. That's unfortunate. To our turn, we have our Bloom. Bloom comes off of Suspend, casts the Bloom, and we even find another land. Let's just go for the quick and easy route and Belcher our opponent. On to sideboarding. I think I should also bring in the Portable Hole. Forgot to do that first one, so let's take out this turn Scolding, I think. I'm still afraid of Cavern of Souls. Bring in the Portable Hole because it can answer both the Broodscale and the Blade. And on to game number 3. Game number 3, we have Verve Convention with Tameshi, and we have Synced Super's bit of interaction. Not the greatest hand, but I think it definitely can work. Especially because we do have so many untapped lands. We are hopefully able to go for Verve into Tameshi. Opponent has a Vexing Bauble to interact with our Lotus Blooms. Verve Convention luckily goes around that. Tameshi does as well. Opponent also already mulliganed down to 5. Just hope they don't have a quick combo hand. Opponent has a turn 1 Blade, and down to 5 cards. Let's just play out the Pressure Ray, and let's then hope we don't die turn 3, which might happen if we're unlucky. No Broodscale here, that's great for us. Run out another Plaza, and now we're able to go for Ver, or maybe even Specimen with Flare. Sink into Super. We have lots of options for the next turn. Opponent plays an Eldrazi Temple and plays a Microspawn. Sure, that's also totally cool. Microspawn not Stone Raining is one of the best things for us. If they only ramp, we don't care too much. They equip their Microspawn, that's also totally fine. They're down to 2 cards, and we draw Consign to Memory. That's great actually. So let's run out our Seagate. Keep up Burr, keep up Consign. Definitely tons of tools to deal with different stuff. Opponent makes a card struct, that makes sense. I could stifle their Saga trigger, but I don't think that really makes any sense whatsoever. They grab a Pissing Needle, or do they name Tameshi, or do they name Belcher or Lotus Bloom? Actually a pretty interesting decision for them. They do name the Char Belcher. Can still just go for our Verve. Take a hit for 3. Opponent is also down to only the Eldrazi Temple right here. No other mana open. To use the blue mana right here. Verve for 0. Grab the Lotus Bloom. Now, fortunately, we're not guaranteed to be able to kill them with Tameshi right now because we don't have any way to access our Belcher right here. Could still run out Tameshi to just draw a card. I think us wait a turn, so I'm able to bounce the Pissing Needle as well. We'll also both this one in, so we have Consign plus Sink into Super up. We can just get rid of the Pissing Needle, run out Tameshi, and hopefully draw a Char Belcher with our Seagate Restorations then. Taking a hit for 6 right here. It's kind of hurt, but that's the business. It is what it is. And runs out another land. And with the Consign to Memory, we are even able to play around Kozilek's command, trying to exile our Lotus Bloom. And with all the mana generated by the Tameshi next turn, we should just be able find something off of our Seagate Restoration, because we will put all the lands back in our hand, draw crazy amount of cards. I think that basically anything my opponent does right here, I will just let it resolve, unless it's another Throwing Microspawn, because I would tap out for that. Don't think that even a Flash Breaker at only 3 cards would be too dangerous for us, because I just want to kill them here. Let's bound the needle, move to our turn, let's run out Tameshi. I could have waited another turn to go for it and just bounce the token or something like that, but I think with the Seagate Restorations and all the mana right now, we should be able to just hit it. Opponent goes for a Kozilek's Command to exile our Lotus Bloom. Luckily enough, we do have the Consign to Memory. Doesn't go for it. Our opponent goes for it. We cast a Consign, no need to replicate. I want to keep all the mana we can possibly keep. Second command would really hurt. Opponent has a Dismember. Unfortunately, can't do much about that. It just happens. Projivary Disruption. Now, if I shock in the Specimen, we are able to bounce both of those. We're not dead, but we are in bad shape. I'm having 2 removals for the Tameshi right here. Sucks a lot. Maybe I bounce the Construct. Can also play the Specimen to block the Construct. Still have Disruption. Still go to 1 and won't be able to kill unless I draw another Tameshi with stuff. I probably fumbled this somewhere. If you know how I fumbled, leave a comment, tell me what I did wrong. The only thing that comes to my mind that I could have done differently is I could have played Slash Breaker. Sucks a lot, but I guess that's okay. I could have played a Sink and Super untap before and played a Flare on the Dismember. That probably should have been the line. Opponent re-equips on the Construct, replace the Pithing Needle. Take another damage of the Flash Breaker. But I guess I can bounce this Microspawn now. Should have with a trigger on this deck disrupted the Pithing Needle. A mistake. I don't think that's a mistake that really matters. Not having the Flare mana right there is a mistake that mattered. Yeah, I should have done that. Could have had the mana to cast the Flare of Denial. Protected the Tameshi. That's on me. Opponent sacrifices. And the Construct goes up to 4 because of the Pithing Needle, yeah. Losing against slow opponents like this is kind of annoying. On to the next match. Match number 4. We lost the die roll. We do have Bloom and Tameshi. I will keep this. It's not a spectacular land, but we do have Disrupting Shoal as well to stop 2 drops. Fortunately, no mana to stop a 1 drop. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand, though there can still be loads of different decks. Maybe a slower start from Boros, maybe a slower start from Prowess. Let's see what land they grab. Opponent grabs a Meticulous Archive, so it might be some control variant, most likely, and they get rid of something. Okay, so it is Neo Brand. Hoping that the Disrupting Shoal does something. We do have 2 drops in our hands that we definitely keep up. I also forget to suspend the Lotus Bloom. Now, that's a mistake you should never do. I think I will play the Suppression Red tap. The next turn we can hardcast Flare of Denial mana. Forgetting to suspend the Lotus Bloom is bad. Opponent grab the Hedgemate, so they are just setting up. That's also pretty interesting combo decks that I definitely will play in some days. Don't quite know when I'll have time. Don't play the Gemstone Mine. Now they're able to combo off with some protection. We unfortunately have no spell big enough to use our Disrupting Shoal right here. Opponent just runs out Zealosaurus Shepherd. Does not go for a combo. Or do they? They Boseiju our land. Yikes! That's annoying. No mountain in the main deck. Play the Disruption. Want to be able to hardcast Tameshi or the next turn. 3 mana barrier is more important than the 2 mana barrier. Especially because I can't afford to actually cast the Yara Disruption. First of all, probably wouldn't do anything. Second of all, getting rid of a land in a spot like this would suck. Bloom goes down to 1. Should have been able to cast it right here, but well, let's run out this. And I think I'll go for the Trainer to look for another land, and that way we have Flare plus spells there. That's a Belcher, I also like that. Opponent might be on a variant that plays Consign main deck with Pacts. Maybe they are not. That's one of the problems with decks like this. The Neobrand deck has so many different variants that you never really know what your opponent is really up to. Will spells has it. It has variants that don't play Pacts. There's variants that play only Summoner's Pact. opponent plays Summoner's Pact, so they probably play the Consigns. But there's also variants that play Summoner's Pact without playing Pact of Negation. There's variants that play both. It can just be so many different iterations of the same deck. Does our opponent have a Consign to stifle our trigger right here? That's annoying, but I will cast it by sacrificing the Thunder Trap Trainer and hope I draw a land. If I don't, I do have Tameshi to go off. Hopefully, opponent has no cards, so I hope we get the kill right here. Yeah, we just draw a land. No need to do any Tameshi shenanigans, let's just run out the Belcher and kill them. Phew! Okay, on to the next game. What do you sideboard against Neobrand? Sideboarding against Neobrand, they play 4 Bosejus, so this mountain is a must include. Stern Scolding probably doesn't really have enough targets, so I'll get rid of this. Into the Bloodmaw sounds pretty nice. I think Harbinger also doesn't sound too terrible. Do like Force of Negation to stop them from doing their things. Do I like Flusterstorm enough? I don't think so. Snapback also doesn't sound too hot. There's 4 more cuts. Do have loads of 2-drops, so that our Disrupting Shoal actually is useful against the combo stuff, so I think I like the Shoal. Let's just trim some of the Veils, and I think I'll also get rid of 1 Flare of Denial and 1 of the Disrupting Shoals, because we do bring in our Force Application. On to game number 2. Game number 2, we are on the draw. We do have Lotus Bloom, land, and Disrupting Shoal with 2 of those things, and we have Harbinger to potentially host them. It is a 1-lander, it is greedy, but I will keep it, even though we sideboarded out 2 lands, so it might come back to bite us. But usually getting rid of 1 or 2 of the Bane Veil should be fine. But I still like this hand with just the Disrupting Shoal as interaction. We draw Flare of Denial now. If we draw land, this hand will be great. And pitch 1 of our 2-drops, counter Neoform, and the turn after we can play another 2-drop and have Flare of Denial up. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? Opponent grabs a Hedge Maze and gets rid of a Preordain. So come on, go for it, opponent. I know you want to. Opponent does shock in the Hello Fountain, and they just play Glittering Wish. I think I will stop that. There's many things that would be really annoying. Stop the Glittering Wish. Hope we draw land. We don't. We're pickle. That's definitely not what we want to have happen. Opponent, please be kind. There's another Glittering Wish. Let's just do the same thing again. And hope we draw lands. That's a good one. I will pretend I have some interaction, because I don't really think the life total matters that much in this matchup. If they do have enough interaction to stop us, they do have really fast kills. Their creatures are so big, don't think these 3 life matter. There's a 3rd Glittering Wish. This one resolves opponent. What do you grab? Opponent grabs the Neoform. They're not able to combo this turn. Now we have Lotus Bloom, Sameshi, or just into the Harbinger. Who likes the sound of that actually? Cast the Bloom. Make some white mana, run out Tameshi. Reflex Bloom. Draw another Disrupting Shoal, that's also great. Run out the land again. Make some blue mana. Grab back the Lotus. Bounce back the Springs. Do I make enough mana with this? Another 3. Not enough to kill them. I think I'll just run out the Harbinger now. And really annoy them to death. I hope I didn't miscount right there, but I think I would have only been able to play the U Belcher but not activate it. I think with the Harbinger right here, the Neoform is useless. They're hopefully not able to cast any real cards. Play the Springs, run out the Trainer, find another land. I think I'll just stall for a little, hit them with these 2, and just play the control game for just a tiny bit till our will kill them, which should be next turn. Next turn we will be able to generate enough mana. But they also do have no way of actually counting that. Maybe they do. I'm not sure if I actually want to go for anything right here. Let's just stop the rider. They did split. This is okay. Nice. On to the next match. Let's see if we can Junt Trophy. Match number 5. We're hoping to get the Junt Trophy with Mono Belcher. We have 3 lands. We have a Belcher. We have a Whirl. And we have a Trainer with a Flare of Denial. This looks mwah. Chef's kiss. Unfortunately, we are on the draw. Probably playing against Boros Energy. Oh, it's Storm, but we do draw Lotus Bloom. Love to draw that. Let's run out our Billion Coast. Next turn, play the Trainer and have Flare. Hope that that's enough. They are a slightly faster combo deck, but they did keep a 1-lander. So I think we should probably be fine. Run out the trainer, and we even find a disrupting shoal to be able to interrupt them even further. Just countering their medallion or their RAL would be enough, I think. Opponent goes for the ritual straight away. I will let the ritual resolve. They probably have a hand that could kill us off of their ramp card. That's a medallion, and I will counter that one. And now they probably have nothing else to do. Yep. Find another Verb Invention. Let's just play our Think into super untapped. We can Disrupting Show for 1 or cast another Verb Invention to grab second Lotus Bloom to kill them. Definitely hoping that we can just go for another Bloom. There's a Ritual. They're trying to go for it again. We don't have a way to shoal for 2, unfortunately. They might be able to go off if they chain incredible cards right now. Which is one of the reasons I hate the current Storm decks. Like, I absolutely despise them. Not being deterministic like the good old, what's the card? Gifts Ungiven pile was, where you were able to just put out the pile and say, this is a deterministic hit. You're having to just go through all these impulse draws and hoping you flip your Run at the right hand and hoping you flip more Reckless Impulse and Ram spells. Just feels so bad. Opponent did not hit anything else, so let's grab a second Lotus Bloom and kill them. I hate this. I do absolutely despise this deck. Not because I often play decks with bad matchups against it, which I do. I often play decks that suck against Storm, but damn, it not being deterministic sucks so bad. Opponent scoops onto sideboarding. Real soft sideboarding approach for now, because we do have so many good counter spells already. Maybe I should take out the Stern Scoldings for more consigns or into the Floodmost, but for now I'll just shave one of the Flares and 2 of the Bean Veil and hope that it's enough. So on to game 2. Absolute snap keep. Absolute snap keep. Just don't forget to suspend the Lotus Bloom. I have to... Maybe I should revert my camera, because right now if I point to the left, it points to the right. I think if I turn around my camera, I'll be able to more reliably point to stuff in my background images and not do it wrong. Might be fun change, that I could more reliably be like, hey Cloud, what you doing? Hey Sephiroth, are you good? Opponent probably just runs out Ruby Medallion. Yep. Let's show the medallion by pitching a shoal. Bloom goes water. Oh, another soul. Sink into super. I love it. I love it. That means that next turn we can go for Lotus Bloom and combo them again. And now we do have Clusterstorm protection, so hopefully we don't die here. There's another Ruby Medallion. There's a land. And they try to go for it. I will definitely let them go for a little, I think. I think there's no need to get rid of a single cantrip. And now we have to sit here and wait for it all. This always reminds me of Nadu. When Nadu was still a thing, they just stopped going for it immediately. When Nadu was a thing and you just had to sit there and wait for your opponent to do the things because maybe they fizzled. You didn't want to get rid of your equity. When I played against Nadu in challenges, when it was fresh, I often just went and showered while they comboed. No jokes, I just straight up went out of the room, pressed F6, went under the shower, came back, opponent was still comboing, did the dishes, opponent was still comboing, did the laundry, opponent was still comboing, got a new cat, went to the vet, opponent was still comboing, and then you come home and 1 in 50 cases your opponent missed and you just felt happy. And with people using Nadu, after everybody knows the deck should have been banned online, I also didn't feel bad for those guys. And you know, usually, like against the Broodscale opponent, I just told them, go for it, do this, do that. I'm fine with all of this. I don't really care. Opponent has no Ram's chant right here. Let's just show that we want the second Lotus Bloom. Like, I don't care about that stuff playing online, but people playing Nadu, man, there was deep hate in me. Let's top deck an untapped land and kill our opponent. Come on, let's do it quick. That's not an untapped land, but it's another Verb Invention. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent cracks a fetch to grab a Parlor. They're down to 2 cards, so we do have the Flusterstorm, and we can crack both Lotus Blooms Cost something for 3. Didn't really change anything. There's mana force. The only annoying thing is that we have to get rid of one of our Lotus Blooms to cast the Flusterstorm. Kind of annoying. Here, see. That actually is a lot of card filtering. I do respect it. But if you don't kill me with your last card right here, that's a Past in Flames. Definitely have to counter that one. Hope to kill our opponent next turn. Blocking this Past in Flames. The next turn they do have the exact mana to cast Past in Flames, but no mana to actually use it. Opponent down to 0 cards. Do have the Belcher in hand, just have to draw land. Or Tameshi. That's a tap land. I was not precise enough. Let's play the Plaza. Let's hope our opponent does not draw anything to cast the Past in Flames. Yes, they didn't. That's just a roll that does nothing. Therefore, another Lotus Bloom just because we can. Style on our Storm opponent. Play the Char Belcher and kill them. We did get the Jund Trophy. Good old Jund Trophy, 3 and 2. Belcher is a great deck. I just don't really know how to pilot it. On to the Afterthoughts. So, what did we learn playing Mono Blue Belcher? We learned that this is not my type of deck. No surprise for me, maybe surprise to some of you. Just don't really like this super repeatish combo game. I want more interaction. Even though I am a creativity player at heart, I think that creativity as combo control deck has more interaction and more different games. Deck is still really good. The only thing that really hurt the deck in the past set releases is Clarion Conqueror, as we've also seen. I didn't play around it properly. I should have sideboarded differently. I should have also played land differently against the Broodscale opponent. We could have definitely gone at least 4-1, but I'm still happy with the performance because it's the first time I've played this deck, and I still think the deck is super sweet. Everybody should give it a shot once. It is a deck for a couple of people. Some people really love these archetypes. Some people really just want to play the simple one-card combo that immediately finishes off your opponent, which sounds a lot like creativity now that I think about it. Why don't I appreciate that deck? One-card combo, 4 mana, sorcery speed most of the times, and lots of counter spells to push it through. Man, maybe it's just the wrong color. No. Sideboard also sounds pretty solid. I don't quite know when this Tethered really is necessary. Probably only against real counter spell decks like Blue-White or something like this. As an additional worth mention or something like this. Probably I did something wrong with Tethered right there. Other than that, I do think the split of Scolding and Spell Snare is neat, but maybe just for Spell Snares it's actually better. Scolding only is really that much better if you're playing against heavy borrows. Other than that, I think Spell Snare being able to answer Chorus Steel Cutter and such, Problem Bombardment to stop fast kills, even against energy, can be more important. These creatures together do like myself some 2-drop into Flare of Annihilation. Not gonna deny this. Definitely fun deck. Hope you enjoyed the league and see you in the next video.